was just payday, so it's time to budget my $2,864 paycheck. If you've been following along for a while, you'll probably think that this paycheck is significantly higher than my previous paychecks, and that's because I've actually decided to start including the amount of money that gets invested before I get it. So the amount of money that I get is more like $1,800, but that's only because $1,062 is being invested on my behalf. So technically that's still my money and I could get it still, but I know that it's important to make that go towards investments while I can. As always, I'm going to be using the budget template that I made for myself in Google Sheets. I refer to it as my paycheck by paycheck budgeting template or my budget template, and it is available for download if you would like to use it as well. Starting on the money flow chart picture, this is pretty much as it is right now. I opened an account at Alliant Bank. It's a credit union actually, so Alliant Credit Union. I have $2,000 in there right now, and it took like a week and a half for that money to show up, and maybe even 2 weeks. Honestly, it took forever to transfer money into that credit union, so I don't know if I want to stay there. So for now, I'm going to keep Ally on this map, and we're just going to keep trying other places. When it comes to the debt tab, I'm not going to update anything on here. I should update my current loan amount, I guess, but really I focus on the total monthly loan payments due. So we're gonna let this be as it is. I don't need to enter any of my credit card debt because my credit cards just pay for my bills, and my bills are paid on a regular cycle. They get paid twice a month, and so I don't have to worry about it. Anticipated costs. We've got pretty much everything's the same except I signed up for an audio subscription so that I can use music and sounds for the podcast that I'm doing with my best friend and not violate any copyright laws. And I feel like that's a very important thing to do. So we've got audio on here for $9.50. I'm labeling that as an extra. And I know that technically counts as a business expense, but so does my Cube Money subscription as well as Canva. And it's easiest if I just put it all in here, as well as Instagram as well. Ugh, I hate that I have that. I'm really debating taking that off. It's $15 to pay for a blue check on Insta, but I think I'm still a little bit nervous about copycat accounts. So once we're settled on Instagram, I might stop paying for that. We'll see. I feel like $15 is a lot to charge for a little blue check mark. Anyways, savings goals. We got emergency fund, travel, moving fund. I'm actually way farther along in these goals than I originally thought I would be. So none of this is actually accurate anymore, I fear. Okay, travel, I'm gonna update that one. I know that one is at $2,000, and I can update emergency fund. Let's see. Simplified saving tracker. Emergency fund is at $12,209. Moving fund is still at 0, so that still stands. Although I feel like let's do 4. Let's do 4 months for that, and then wow. None of this is really relevant because I'm saving more than this every single month. So like if I want to do this all in 1 month, how much do I need to save? Or 2 months. Let's do 2 months. 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. Okay, fine. Whatever. This is mainly for brainstorming, just for like a frame of reference. So if you don't know what you are necessarily saving for, but you have a lot of ideas, you just kind of put your ideas in here. So you can put like wish list or Christmas fund, how much you have saved for that, and what your savings goal is, how many months do you have to save for it. So like let's use Christmas as an example. Christmas. I do not have any money saved for that. I want $1,000 and I've got 11 months at this point. That means every single month I need to set aside $90.91. That's not going to be added to my savings goal per month total unless I switch this goal to be now, which it should be now if I want to save that much and set aside $90. So that's how that works. If you don't want to save for that, so like let's say you fill this out and you put in all of your goals and then your savings goal per month is $6,000 and you go, oh, can't be doing that. Then we just remove things. So I'll put later until it gets to a reasonable total. Maybe you can tinker with the how many months to save portion of it, but essentially this is just to help you figure out what's realistic, like what's a realistic savings goal at this point in time. Now we're gonna slide right along to income tracker. Okay, so I'm gonna put payday, the day I got it, the total it is, And as you can see, I updated my previous payday amounts. That's because I want to include the amount of money that's going towards investments every single payday, even if I'm not necessarily doing anything, because it's automatically taken out of my paycheck before I see it, before I receive it, anything like that. Like it's included in my pay stubs, but it makes me feel better if I can see it like this. So that's why I'm doing it this way now. I don't need to set aside any money for taxes because this is just my regular bi-weekly paycheck, so they handle that for me. Thank goodness. I did add that subscription since the last time I set aside money, so I have to put that $9.50 in here. And then I need to set aside $400 for my spending account because I get $200 every single week to be alive. So it's like if I get paid on a bi-weekly schedule, that means I need to set aside $400. And then investments, I already know the default amount, $1,062. That is getting my 401k employee match and also putting money towards my ESPP account to max that out by the end of the year because that is a priority for me. And then I'm going to put the rest of it into savings because I do not need to put any more money towards my car loan. Woo! I could get ahead on the car loan. I'm not focusing on that right now though. It's not the highest thing on my priority list. I feel like that's going to become a priority in the second half of this year, but we'll honestly see. I like to keep my options open. So then I'm going to move over to my Simplified Savings Tracker tab, enter where I got it, the day, how much money I need to set aside, and then I think I'm just going to put that all into the emergency fund. I want my emergency fund to be fully funded before I go full force into anything else. The $2,000 for the travel is what I set aside from one of my side hustle paychecks, the one from Cube Money affiliate link uses, and I think I put it all in there because I liked the look of it. But the emergency fund is pretty close. I want that to be met in one fell swoop, but I know that's not realistic. So the next paycheck that I get, I think I'm just gonna keep putting money in there until it's full. And then I can like happily shift my focus to saving for travel and the moving fund without any worries. Cause we've got, the emergency fund in place. Oh, I should put $1,000 for a safety net as well. Dang. Safety nets are important though, because the emergency fund should not necessarily be the safety net. For me anyways, I think the emergency fund is something that we keep around. If our entire lives fall apart, if my whole entire life fell apart, the emergency fund money is what I would use to keep me alive. The safety net money is for like a forgotten bill or an unexpected expense that pops up, okay? That's the way that I see it. And then we're going to slide on over to the yearly total tracker, which I recently made viewable once again on the version of this you can download. If you have your version downloaded already and you don't want to start a new one, here's what you're going to do. You're going to open your budget template that you got from me, and you've got all the way at the bottom the little list of tabs that you can open, and then there's a plus sign, and then there's like a 3-line sign. Click on the 3 lines, and then you will see one of them labeled yearly total tracker. It's hidden from you right now. Actually, yeah, if you re-download it, then it's not hidden anymore. But previously, it's hidden from you. So you just have to click on it and then it'll appear. And then you'll also see the other tabs that I hid, which is there's only one, savings tracker with buckets. That's just like a more complicated version of the Simplified Savings Tracker. So if you want to check that out, you definitely can. But I retired it, I just felt like it was in the way. But anyways, this is where we're at. My total saved for January. So let's copy and paste this. What we're going to do is all these totals up here, they're being taken from the income tracker tab. And then the current month is also taken from the income tracker tab. So all these things that we see currently populated, we do not need to repopulate those. Those are formulas. We are going to leave them alone. But what we do want to do is we want to copy and paste that total. So I'm just going to copy all of these guys up here. And then I'm going to paste values. Okay, so what that looks like is you're going to right click and then you're going to scroll down to paste special, and then it'll say values only. The shortcut for that is just Control-Shift-V if you're on a desktop. And there you have it. We're all good to go. So we've got $1,632 for bills, $1,200 for being alive. So the $1,200 is what I've spent on food, transportation, miscellaneous, other. And then we've got investments. $2,942 invested. That is really good. Savings, $7,665.40. That is incredibly good. Like that is, I cannot express to you how much money that is. I know how much that is. I am not going to be a Debbie Downer about it. I am thoroughly thrilled about it. January is typically a good time because in the budgeting space and the personal finance space, we're all trying to get it together. So people are more likely to try new tools, to download budgeting templates, to just be in the financial space. So that's why it's so high. And also my engagement for TikTok in December was really high. So my TikTok earnings from just engagement alone was exceptional. So there are a lot of things with like stars aligning. I do not think, not being a pessimist, just being a realist, I don't think that we're going to see the $7,600 savings again for like the next couple of months. I would love to, but I think that's a really high number, which I'm pleased about. Also, I'm realizing now that I just did an interview with CNN and they asked me how much money I saved in the month of January. And it was actually, it's $7,600. And I think I told her 4,000. I think I told her a smaller number. I don't know why. Maybe I totaled it wrong. I literally pulled up my template. Maybe I looked at it wrong. Anyways, I told her about $3,000 shy of what it actually is. If we were just taking money from my paycheck, from my biweekly paycheck, if we didn't include any of my side hustles, then my total save for January would have been $2,500, I believe, or $1,500. Let me look. Let's check it out. I actually can quantify this right now. We've got payday, $2,549. So that's how much I would have saved if I didn't have any side income, which is also really, really well. But remember, I am currently staying in my childhood home. So if I wasn't staying in my childhood home, if I was renting a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment in Southern California, the money that is prospective savings would just not be there anymore. I think I'd be able to save around $500 a month if I was paying rent, which the whole reason I'm staying in my childhood, well, not the whole reason, but a significant reason, a really big reason of why I'm in the childhood home right now is to save money on rent. Fully aware of that, very grateful. If you would like to save money on rent, one of the things you can do is think about renting a room in a house instead of like entirely your own space. I know it's not totally ideal. I know you hear that and you're like, but then you have to live with a bunch of other people in a house. You have to share a lot of public spaces. You have to coordinate with doing laundry. Like there's a lot of baggage that comes with staying in a room in a house, but that's why you save so much money. So it's a little bit something to consider if you're at a place in your life where you're like, I do not need to be comfortable for that long, right? We can suffer a little bit and then bring it back later. But just putting that out there. I feel like a lot of us don't think of that. Anyways, that's wrapping up January. it was a really good month. It was for money. And the no-buy has helped significantly with this. I'm looking at my TikTok, my Cube, my templates, my payouts from those and how much money I was able to put in savings, which is almost entirely the whole paycheck. I did set aside $372 for business expenses, but other than that, all the rest of the money has gone to savings. And usually when I get side paychecks, I'll like split it. I'll split savings and I'll split spending. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to do the no-buy, because last year I spent a lot of money on dumb crap that I didn't need. I mean, it was in the budget and it was fine and it wasn't losing my mind or anything. It didn't hinder me too badly, but there was a lot of opportunity cost lost there. So this year I want to keep that under wraps. I want to keep the wheels on the bus. I want to keep saving as much as I absolutely can. And January's been really encouraging. I think it was great that we've started off on such a strong foot, and I'm hoping to keep that energy for the rest of this year. Even if we come up shy on that $7,000 saved, $7,600 saved, that is a lot of money. When I was working in Arizona and my biweekly paychecks were like $1,500 after putting maybe $100 in towards my 401k, I was able to save like around $300 to $500 a month, and like that's really good too. $300 to $500 a month is a solid amount of money, but this is $7,600. That's almost my entire rest of my emergency fund because I was working on getting it back up. That was $2,000 towards a travel fund. It's January and I am significantly gaining on my savings goals. So I really want to keep this energy going forward. Again, I'm an optimist, but if I reach these goals sooner than let's say April, If I reach them before April, I will be very, very pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I think we're doing well. I will check in about the no buy in a different video. We'll go through the January no buy. I do have a little package that I get to open as a reward for making it through January. Kids Eye Care, who sends me glasses, so like these glasses are from Kids Eye Care. They sent me a package with a couple of pairs of glasses, so I'm very excited to try those on. But I figured we could do that as celebratory for the January no buy being done. Even though my no buy is not done, that's just 1 out of 12 months out of the year, but we'll take the wins where we can get them. Every single month is something to be celebrated in a reasonable way. So that's what I'm doing. Some housekeeping money tool announcements. As I said before, the budgeting template that I use is something that I created for myself from scratch in Google Sheets. You can absolutely make your own template, but if you would like mine, it is available for download. I also have a full year spending tracker because I track my day-to-day spending. I just do totals because doing line items is a bit too overwhelming for me, so I like to keep it in a calendar style. And then also, we've got Cube Money. You know how I feel about Cube Money. This is the debit card that I use on the daily. I do not use credit cards for daily spending because that complicates things for me. It's hard for me to keep it straight. So this solves a lot of the budgeting pain points that I have. So if you're looking for something to help you do more mindful spending, things like that, Cube Money. And Cube Money did just have a live conference, and I did go to it. It was a live stream, and they said a lot of really fun things. So I'm actually going to make a video about all the things that they said. And one of them, the thing that I'm most excited about, is an updated Cube Money debit card. It's going to be contactless and it's going to be more durable. They said the durability thing and how this peels, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see some peeling, but I hadn't really noticed that. Either way, I'm excited for the new debit card. Thanks for watching this video, and remember to subscribe so that you know when I post another one.